homemade dark chocolate cake. Does it get any better than that? The ooey gooey chocolate frosting, the moist cake. Everybody loves chocolate cake. It's on every menu in every restaurant because it's oh so good. I'm Sugar and you're watching Cooking with Sugar TV. Today we are making chocolate cake and I'm so excited to share this recipe with you. The ingredients you're going to need to make this chocolate cake are sugar, flour, milk, a little bit of salt, some eggs, some baking powder, some baking soda, vegetable oil, vanilla, and the star of the show is the Hershey's cocoa powder, and I like to use the special dark. And then my secret ingredient is I put a bubbling hot cup of instant espresso, and that chocolate with the coffee makes this the best cake. We're going to start by adding our dry ingredients, but before I do, I have mine pre-measured in my bowls here, but I just want to show you when you're using dry ingredients, you want to use a dry measuring cup. I pre-measured mine, so I'm just going to add it all right now. So we're going to add the sugar, cocoa powder, the flour, the baking soda and baking powder, and a little bit of salt. Those are all our dry ingredients, so we're going to just mix that up and we're going to blend that. Before I mix in my wet ingredients, I'm going to just prepare my pans. So let me show you how to do that. I like to line the bottom of my pan with some parchment paper instead of just spraying it and flouring it, so I'm going to show you how to do that. First we start by just giving the pan a light coating of spray, or you could butter it. Then you want a piece of parchment paper that's big enough for your pan. Then I'm going to fold this piece of paper into quarters like this. And then I'm going to take that and fold it into a triangle. Now I'm going to turn my pan over and I'm going to just see from the center to the end how big it is. And you could always trim it after you cut it like this. But this usually gives you almost the exact size of the pan. And then you open that up and you see that's going to fit right there in the bottom of the pan. Then I'm just taking some flour, or you can use cocoa powder, and what I'm going to do is just coat the pan with the flour. And this is so your cake's going to just slip out of the pan so easily when it's baked. Now it's ready for the wet ingredients. And when you use wet ingredients, you want to make sure you use a liquid measuring cup. So I'm going to add my oil, I'm going to add my eggs, I'm going to add my milk, and some vanilla. And I'm just going to give that a mix with my little whisk here, and then I'm going to put it in my electric mixer for just a minute or two on medium speed just to mix it up. Okay, so that looks perfect. Look at how beautiful that is. And now I'm going to add my black coffee. And all I did to make the black coffee was I added a teaspoon of the instant black coffee to 1 cup of boiling hot water. That's going to just get mixed in here. And you want it to be hot. This batter is very liquidy, but don't be worried about it because it's going to make the most moist cake. And you want to mix it in until your batter is just really smooth. Now my ovens are preheated to 350 degrees, and now I'm going to just divide the batter in half. Half in this one, and half in the other one. And they're going to be baked in the oven for about a half hour. My cake's out of the oven. It cooled for a few minutes, and now I'm going to flip it out onto a cooling rack. You see how easy that came out? Now I'm going to take that parchment paper off and just let it cool. My cake is out of the oven cooling now, so I'm going to make my frosting. And here's the ingredients you need for the frosting. Some powdered sugar, heavy cream, vanilla, butter, and naturally the Hershey's cocoa. So I put my powdered sugar and my cocoa powder in my bowl here. And for this recipe, the butter actually gets melted. So I just stuck it in the microwave to melt it. And that melted butter gets added in there. And the original recipe calls for milk, but I like to use heavy cream. So I'm gonna put my cream in there, and then a little bit of vanilla. And now we're gonna whip this up with our electric mixer. Just gonna mix that until it's smooth, but if you find that it's too thick, you can add a little bit more of the heavy cream to get the nice consistency you need. So I'm gonna mix that a minute and see how it looks. Now I just want you to see the consistency of that? Look at how good that is. Delicious. And that's the perfect frosting. So let's frost the cake. My cakes are nice and cool. My frosting is made, and now it's time to decorate the cake and make it look beautiful. So let me show you my little trick about how to not mess up your beautiful cake plate. So what I do is I take strips of parchment paper like this, and I place them on the plate. So now I'm going to place my cake on the plate, and then I'm just going to tuck my little pieces of parchment paper underneath the cake. Now that I have my cake on my plate, I'm going to start by just putting a little bit of frosting in the middle layer. So I just want to put a thin layer of frosting, and then I'm going to add the top cake. I'm also using a little rotating cake platter, and I use this whenever I make cakes because I can give it a little twirl and it's easy to work with. So once I have my frosting spread evenly all around the top, I'm going to add my second layer. Now that I have the second layer on top, I'm going to give this a thin coating of frosting and put it in the refrigerator for just a few minutes just to set it. And that's called a crumb coat. And what that does is that lets you frost the cake nice and smooth and give you that really finished, polished look at the end without making a big mess of the cake. And I kind of place it on the side there and just get it going all around. And this is why I put the parchment paper, because you can be real messy with this, and then you pull the paper away and you have a beautiful clean plate. Now I'm just going to put this in the refrigerator for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out and finish it. My cake's out of the refrigerator, and now that chocolate is set a little bit, so it's much easier to decorate. So what I'm going to do is just give it another thin layer of frosting. And this is the finishing layer. This is the layer you want to be really perfect and beautiful. I like to put a little extra frosting on the top, and I just go around and give it all these little swirls. I actually made this for my mom's birthday. So I made 2 cakes. We're gonna have one for her birthday, and I made this one to show you. So this one I'm gonna give away. For my mom's cake, I actually put all pink frosting on it, you know, and wrote "Happy Birthday, Grandma." So I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy this at the birthday party, because who doesn't love chocolate cake? You know, people are so busy today with their busy lifestyles that when you do take time to make something like this homemade, it really means a lot to people. But you see, it doesn't take that much extra time, and so much love goes into it. Let me show you what to do to take this paper off. All you need to do is just gently pull the paper back like this. See how nice and clean the plate stays? But the cake looks gorgeous. So let's cut a piece and taste it. It's super high, super chocolatey, and super moist. So let's taste it. Oh, this with a glass of milk? Oh my God. It does not get any better than this. For more recipes like this, be sure to log on to my website at cookingwithsugar.com. And if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to click on the subscribe button.
Happy birthday!
So good.